Hi, I'm Jake Taylor, joined here by Beau McCoy, current state senator and running to be the Republican candidate for governor. So Beau, first off, I understand just yesterday we had a large debate with all of the candidates in Norfolk. And I understand you gave a bit of a promise when it came to jobs and to the economy. I was hoping maybe you could explain a little bit about that to us.
Well, I certainly did. I made a big commitment to the people of Nebraska, and one that I'm very excited to talk about. And that is, in my first term as governor, I'm making a commitment to add 10,000 jobs to our economy, to cut property taxes by $100 million, and to travel around the world 100,000 miles to grow new markets for our ag and manufacturing goods. And if I don't get that done in the first term as governor, I won't run for re-election.
All right. So I know you just said that. I just want to ask again. So I mean, let's say the end of your term, you create, you're just a little bit shy of one of those goals. Would you really not run again?
Absolutely.
Why do you feel it's important to make that promise?
Because I think it's important to the people of Nebraska that we have elected officials that hold themselves to high standards. That's what I've done as a member of the legislature the last 6 years. I believe firmly in term limits. We have them in Nebraska, even for governor, where you can serve a maximum of 2 terms. But I think it's important to hold yourself, to shoot high for goals, and to hold yourself to a high standard. That's what I've done as a small business owner. It's what I learned in agriculture, that you give your word and you stand by it.
So of course debates are a bit different from the regular stump speeches and of course the commercials we all see every day. Do you think that at the debate yesterday we learned something about the candidates, something was revealed that maybe people don't see in the usual commercials and speeches? Well,
I love debates. I really think it gives the people of Nebraska a good way to kind of get to know us better as candidates. There's a lot of us, with 6 of us in the race. It makes it a little challenging to get to know people, but I think debates are a good way to do that, to learn more about where we all stand on the issues. And for me, what's most important is that you get a chance to talk, those of us that have served in public office, about your record, because there's a lot of talk that goes on in a campaign cycle, as you just referenced, but it's records that count. Your actions speak louder than any words. And I think that's what's most important about debates, is you get the opportunity to talk about what you've done, what you've been involved in. And in my case, I often talk about taxes and reducing taxes, because that's what I focused on in the legislature.
So you mentioned, of course, that there is a fairly large field. We've got 6 candidates running, so sometimes a lot of the speeches, the sound bites we hear can sound pretty similar. What do you think about yourself specifically sets you apart from the rest of the field, sets you apart, that will make voters choose you above the Foleys or the Ricketts or the Brunings?
Well, I grew up in agriculture in our family's cattle ranch on the Colorado-Nebraska border, and I think that understanding what a work ethic is when you grow up in agriculture, you work till the job's done, or not necessarily whenever quitting time is, until the job's done. And being in small business, I know what it means to create jobs, to make a payroll, and to pay yourself last. And anybody in small business knows what that's like as you build a business. I've been doing that for over 15 years now. My wife Shawn and I have 4 kids. We know what it's like to raise a family here. We go through some of the same challenges that other families do. And I mentioned earlier, it's at 6 years in the legislature and a conservative record that I'm very proud of. And it's that combination, I think, of those 3 that really sets me apart from anybody else in this race. I've been involved in every tough issue we've covered in Nebraska the last 6 years, and I've stood closer than anybody has with Governor Heineman on those issues over the last 6 years, and I want to do it as your next governor.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Beau McCoy, for joining us, and thanks for sharing your thoughts and your feelings on why you should be the next candidate for governor from the Republican Party. Thank you all for joining us.